Hey, everybody, welcome to Cheesy Popcorn. My name is Annivar, and I'm here with my cohort,
Chris Miles.
Chris Miles.
Yeah.
Chris Miles.
Chris Miles. And it's not Smiles, it's Miles.
It's not
but
Smiles.
anyway, yeah.
Smile is the longest word in the English dictionary. You know that.
Yeah, because there's a mile between
Because
both
of
S's.
mile in it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Exactly. You guys can use that out there. Anyway,
It's
Chris and
absolutely
I, our last show, we were previewing a movie that we were both looking forward to seeing, I believe.
Mhm.
And we actually got to go see it together with other people, by the way. Chris's wife and my wife were both there, too.
I was wondering if you were going to say
Yeah.
that.
And so
We also had some other special guests as well, too.
we had
So it
some
was kind
special
of like
guests.
a
We had
family time.
Yes, we had Andrew, who is one of the artists you had on your show, Andrew Salgado. And we had his lovely, lovely wife,
Fall.
Autumn.
Yeah.
Well, Fall.
Yeah.
Fall is her nickname, but
Yeah.
they call her Autumn.
Yeah.
And then your lovely wife, Dawn.
She's my girlfriend. But yeah.
I'm sorry, your lovely
Yeah.
girlfriend,
It's okay.
Dawn, which is why you're an early riser,
yeah, exactly.
because you wake up with Dawn.
Yeah. Thank you for censoring that. I appreciate it.
I thought you'd like that. And my wife, Doris, who is a huge fan of these kinds of movies.
Oh,
as-
yes, absolutely.
As you guys found out.
You know, the nice thing about Dawn, though, is that we never have to watch movies with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John.
Really?
Yeah, because Dawn takes Grease out of the way.
Oh, wow.
There you go. You're welcome.
That's pretty good. Hey, hang on.
So the reason why we're doing all of these puns, if you will,
Puns.
that's what we used to call them. Now they're dad jokes. Is it because people can't
Yeah,
say
I
the
don't know
word
what it-
puns? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Is there some weird connotation to the word puns?
I don't have a problem with most words,
Yeah,
to be
I don't
honest with you. But I think we here's what we did at society. We've decided there's a thin line between certain things, and the reality is it's a thick line.
Yeah.
It's a very thick line. And most people who cross that line are people who don't care that there's a line at all.
Yeah, that's-
anyway,
that's absolutely
and the rest of
true.
us know where the thickness is, and we write it. I mean, especially if
That's-
you're a comic or you're
That's what she said.
if you're an entertainment person, you ride that line a little bit,
Yeah.
and that's okay, especially in comedy. Comedy is supposed to. And who said this? There was a comic, a famous comic, and I can't think of who was, who said comedy is supposed to offend. If you're doing it right, it's supposed to offend somebody.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to make you think. It's supposed to make you aware, and it's supposed to make you laugh. Those are the three things comedy's supposed to do. And that gets us right to Naked Gun, because I
Yes.
think it did all three.
I agree. We had talked about this offline before
did?
about Liam Neeson and my whole thoughts about how he was going to be, and stepping into the roles and stepping into the shoes and filling in. But he really didn't do that. Like he was the son
Right.
of Drebin. So it made things a little bit interesting. I'll get into more things when we get to like my scoring and that kind of stuff, because there were a couple of things that I went, huh? But I think there's one that we agree on. But overall, yes, absolutely. I loved the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a great time. It was a great in the Yiddish language. There's this term called mishpocha, which is like the whole family kind of thing. It's the whole gang. So we had like a mishpocha night is what we
Wow.
were, because I was trying to figure out what they call like a triple date, but
Yeah,
because like what double date is Dutch, right? And then I don't know what triple was. So I'm just gonna say it was a mishpocha date, because that makes more sense. And all the people that are Jewish out there, you're welcome. Anyway,
Well, I think that's in the Polish community, too, Miss Polka.
Miss Polka. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's
She wears a little ribbon and everything. It's
yeah,
really cool.
yeah. I think last year's winner was Bet She Won't.
I think so.
Yeah, I thought so. Oh no, it's Bet She Won't Ski. That's
Bet
what it was.
She Won't Ski.
Yeah, my fault.
But you ski. Ever ski.
Right. We all ski. And then
all
we're going
ski.
to toboggan. So there we go. All right.
So here's I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
After last night, I got a chance to review it in my head. There were some things that didn't work. I think Liam did a really good job.
Okay.
And I hope he does more, like Leslie did.
Like a 2.5, right?
I don't know if they're going to call it 2.5, but I think he should do more, because I think he's going to grow into the role.
Okay.
The tough part, if you're a Naked Gun fan, is that Leslie Nielsen was born to do that role. And Liam has to develop it, because he didn't have, what he missed, I think, was the Leslie Nielsen persona
Yes.
that he doesn't really know he's doing stupid stuff.
Right.
To him, he's doing it right, even though everybody around him sees it. Liam isn't there yet.
Right. Yeah.
But I think he can get there. I think he's got the right attitude to get there. I thought the script was okay. There were some moments that the writing I didn't think was as polished as the originals either,
Mm-hmm.
but there were some really good moments in there. I think you already know my favorite one, but I don't want to give it away. The directing I thought was good. I thought the pace was good, was well done. There were a couple slow moments that I didn't care for, but
Yeah.
overall, compared to the original, and again, it's not a sequel. Let everybody know this ain't a sequel. This is a reboot.
Yes.
And you know what that means? When you reboot, you
Yeah.
don't. It's not a sequel.
It means you kick him in the knee instead of
You-
the butt, right?
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. That's what it
Um,
is.
My one didn't like,
Ooh.
actually didn't like,
Okay.
Pamela Anderson.
Why?
I just
I want to see if we're on the same part.
here's
here.
what I thought, and I like Pamela Anderson, by the way. I think she's done some good stuff. I think what she was trying to
Like
do,
barbed wire.
like Barb. Oh,
Yeah.
that was great. I loved her. In that.
You're missing the face right now, folks. It's the only thing we can't do on a podcast. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think that she saw the role and tried to play it as, and if you're a Mel Brooks fan, you'll understand this, as Madeline Kahn did
Yes.
in High Anxiety.
Yes.
And that was the wrong persona for
Yeah.
this character, for this role. Priscilla Presley played it really, really well because she was never an actress.
Right.
So
And-
when she got this role, she was like just her.
Right.
And nothing against Priscilla. I think she's a very intelligent woman, obviously, but she played the role perfectly. And I don't think that Pamela should have tried to imitate Priscilla, but she didn't get the character correct to be the opposite of Liam, I thought.
Right.
I thought it should have been and I can't think of who else might have done it. Maybe a Katherine Heigl, maybe could have done it, or I mean, obviously Madeline Kahn would have been, in my opinion, a perfect for this one. But that was my one absolute dislike. I liked that there was a cameo of Priscilla.
I was going to ask you. I was going to ask if you saw that, but yeah.
But it wasn't enough.
No, she was on the screen for like 0.2
Yeah.
seconds.
And that's where the directing
And there was
is,
no
by the way.
and there was no reaction from
No.
her. Like it was just like, here is your obligatory cameo that we need to do to get her in the movie, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like she had no reaction, and where they put it in the movie, she could have had a reaction like
Right.
shot, and I was like, oh, you missed that one. But
Yep.
anyway,
And I thought the sublime stuff in the background, like the code case files,
Right.
in the original, when they had those kinds of background things, like Mel Brooks likes to do a lot of that too, they gave you time to absorb it. And this one, and I won't give away anything, but some of the subtle, sublime stuff, they did it so quickly that you could have missed it because you're listening to the dialogue, and most of them are visuals, where Mel Brooks gives you the camera shot where somebody's walking, like Gregory Hines is walking in History of the World, and you can see the background. Even though they're talking, the background is obvious, and it's up there long enough so that you could see that it says 5 and 10 with the V and the X, those kinds of things. So those were too short. I absolutely love Danny Houston as the bad guy. He's out of Yellowstone.
okay.
He was great in Yellowstone. So he's been in a lot of good stuff. What I didn't care for was his name. I'm thinking,
oh, okay.
I mean, this is Naked Gun.
You're talking his character name,
Character name.
right? Okay. All right.
Not his name. I didn't name him. I can't.
Well,
I have no control over that, Chris.
I don't know.
Pap Schmier
Right.
was Naked Gun villain.
Yeah.
You can't get a better villain name than that for this kind of a movie.
Right.
Richard Kane, just kind of nothing to me.
And I was waiting for all the jokes that could come out of that, and not even like an Abel joke
No.
was there. And I was
Well-
just like, wow, okay.
I don't know if you shorten it, I suppose,
Yeah.
but I don't know. And I'll say one more positive. Love that they continued the freeze frame bit at the end
Yes.
from the TV series.
Yes.
Because that was one of, and when I watched the TV series, for those of you who are old enough, there was a TV series first, and they always ended with a freeze frame, which they stole, by the way, from the old Barney Miller show, but they ended it with a real freeze frame. What these guys did with Naked Gun, everybody waited for the freeze frame because they wanted to see which of the characters in the show would move first. So I love that. I really, really did not care for the owl scene.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I like the fact that they brought the owl in as a message from his dad,
Mm-hmm.
but from there on in, it was just, even for me, who is a real kid at heart and loves, Mel Brooks and these kind of movies, that not done well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving anything away by saying that.
No, but I agree with you. That seemed like it was like they wanted to do something and they just threw it in there to do that. And I'm kind of like, I think you could have done that a little bit better. So,
Yep.
so as far as I go, I would give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
Oh, you didn't even give it an A.
Yeah, because first of all, the Pamela Anderson thing did not work for me at all, and on multiple levels. I felt like she was forcing it the entire time, like she was trying to be funny, and as you know from being a comic, and as I know from even just in radio, when you try to be funny, it doesn't come off as funny at all. It comes off as stupid. Or it just looks like you're just trying too hard and it's just not working.
It looks like you're acting.
It looks like you're acting, and you don't want that in any sort of media in any way, shape, or form.
Or on a honeymoon.
Well, I don't know. Anyway,
Ask Andrew.
whoa, oh, we just got personal. Okay, then. So moving on, but it's still a great movie. It's one of those that you need to see at least once, if not maybe
You
twice.
got to see it twice.
And here's why: because what you were talking about is those sight gags.
Yes.
And now I have. In college, I took a couple of different film classes, and one of the things our film professor told us was to not focus on the center, but focus on the outer frame, because that's how you can get the whole story. And unfortunately, when you see a movie the first time, it's hard to do that. You want to focus on the action, which is usually the main picture or the center of the picture in any movie. But I did catch some of the sight gags, like the one you were saying, the cold case thing, and then a couple other ones as well too. And they're well placed. I do agree with you. I think maybe if there was more of like a camera panning or something like that to emphasize them a little bit more. But the script was written in such a way that it played directly center. There was no chance with the script to go like left or right or whatever. Everything was directly centered, and I think that's probably why they didn't do some of the camera cuts that they probably should have done to emphasize those sight gags a little bit more.
Correct.
But
Or the callbacks, because they had a whole bunch of callbacks. I won't say what it is.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of callbacks in a particular running gag.
Yeah.
That again were
Yeah, exactly. But overall, like I said, it was a great movie. My thing is this. And I think I said this last time. If not, I'm going to say it now. Liam Neeson has this breathy, dramatic delivery that just is the same thing all the way through, and that was what did it for me. That's why I gave it a 7.5, because he's in the middle of this long spiel about figuring out who did it and all this kind of stuff, and all I could see was Taken. I have a particular set of skills. And those skills are going to lead me to do this, and I'm going to do that. And he's doing the delivery of this, basically breaking down who did what. And the whole thing, I was just like, Liam, stop with the breathy delivery. And that's what I didn't say that last time, but that's what I was insinuating. He has this breathy delivery style that sometimes takes you away from what's going on. And it almost feels like he's trying to talk and get all of his lines out because he's afraid he's going to lose them. Being a director on a couple of different plays, theatrical plays and things of that nature, one of the things that I would always tell my actors is memorize the lines, but then when you memorize the lines, memorize them backwards.
Right.
So then you can literally go like, okay, so this is that line, and you can figure out like what the whole reason for the delivery is, because then that way, then you don't sound like you're just reciting lines, which sometimes is what happens with Liam Neeson. Yeah. I will give Naked Gun a big plus for this. Leslie Nielsen, LN, Liam Neeson, LN. Did they do that on purpose?
I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, well, somebody said that to me at work today, and I was like, never would have thought about that. But anyway, overall, it's a great flick. I think
it is.
People who enjoy this kind of humor, and I'm about to give away a big spoiler from the movie, only because of our audience members. And it's not really from the movie, it's from our experience. So the best part was your wife was sitting next to my girlfriend, and there was some commentary from your wife going back and forth, because your wife clearly is not a sophomoric humor kind of person, which this movie is full of. And she bends over or turns over to my girlfriend Dawn, and she's like, "Watch this. He's gonna laugh really loud." And literally, as soon as she said that, you're over there in the back going, "Bah!" the best part of the movie for me was that. Now, I realize it's not a spoiler because you guys probably won't have
No.
the same experience, but it was hilarious because
Yeah.
she was doing commentary throughout the movie about certain things. She was like, oh my God, could this movie get any dumber? Oh my God. Oh, they're going to do this now. See, I just predicted that. Like, it's just the commentary from her was hilarious. And I don't think she realized that, like, she was actually speaking loud enough for the people, like the other people in our row to hear us. So that was the best part. But all in all, like I said, the movie's great.
I give her A for credit for coming out because it really was. She knew it wasn't her kind of movie to begin with, but she came out, and I think we had a good time, and she finally got to meet Dawn, which was
Yes,
because
yes.
you know, your girlfriend thought that my wife was a what do they call those
Gal pal.
invisible.
Oh yeah, she was like the
Imaginary friend.
invisible bride. That's what she.
Imaginary wife.
Yeah, imaginary wife. That's what she said.
Yeah, and
So-
that's always kind of fun to have someone like that too, when you go see a movie who isn't necessarily enamored with it and can be a little bit more upfront and honest about how stupid it is. Because that's what Colbert told Liam Neeson when
Yeah.
he had him on the show.
Yeah.
First thing he said is, "I'm going to give you the biggest compliment I can give you about this movie. It's really, really stupid."
Right.
And Liam Neeson said, "Thank you." With the breath, I can't do. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
I can't do his breathy
I have a
voice.
particular set of skills.
So
Thank
go
you,
see
thank
this,
you.
then go see Taken. I think.
Yeah. There you go. And
You go wash all the naked gun out of your mouth and eyes and go back to his original role.
there you go.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he's going to do another one. He actually, Colbert asked him about it. I don't know if you saw the Colbert show with Liam Neeson.
I
but
did catch the interview. I was surprised.
he
I
was on
thought
there.
he was going to say yes. He was going to do another one.
He didn't say he was going to do one, but he did say when he got the call, they said, we want to do a reboot of Naked Gun. And he said, I said, how much? And they told me how much, and I said, I'll do it.
So I guess the lesson there is if it's enough money, he'll come back.
And I'm with him on that one.
Yeah, there you go. And speaking of with enough money, what's the stuff that's coming out this coming week?
Yes,
so a
what?
couple of great movies coming out this week.
Okay.
We've got Weapons, which is a horror flick, which has been like overly advertised for like
Yeah.
the last couple of
Yeah.
months. It's kind of one of those Thanos is in it, just by the
Oh,
way, Josh
okay.
Brolin, right? So it's one of those. I'm gonna be honest. It's one of those. I'm gonna wait for cable because it's not whatever. The other one is Freakier Friday. Talk about illusionary friends
Lee.
and things of that nature.
Jimmy
Do we need a sequel? I don't think
I
so.
I like the first one. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I think she is.
Yes, she's great
She's a great actress.
in all of the Halloween movies. Anyway,
And Trading Places.
no, yes, I'm only kidding.
Great scene in
She's a
Trading
great
Places
actress,
that she's in my opinion. At any rate,
and that's why she's in this movie because she traded places. That's why they do it. That's
Right,
what they
they're
did
doing
that.
this- I don't know. I don't know. It looks like a fun movie. You know, it's one of those escape movies. I think.
Yes.
And it's a good date movie. It'd be a good date movie. I
Okay,
think.
yeah.
So, I might go see that. Bad Guys 2.
Bad Guys 2, that's one of those that's kind of still lingering in the background. I think
Yep.
that might
Yep.
be something I'm going to go see.
Well, I went to see that with my grandkids because they
Oh, you
wanted
did
to go
see it?
see it. I saw the first one.
Oh,
first one. I'm
the
sorry.
first one. Okay, all right.
Thinking I'm just going to sit through this and get through it.
Right.
And I loved it. I loved
Okay.
the first one.
All right.
So I will go see the second one at some point.
Okay.
And then Happy Gilmore 2
Yes.
has been released.
And I think that's what we're going to
That's
do.
a Netflix.
I think that's what we're going to do next week because there aren't really
Oh.
any movies that we're really like, that
Yeah,
we're going to go
so I'll
see in
have
the
to see it.
theaters.
Okay.
So I think we're going to give our review
I'm hoping my neighbor
Happy
keeps
Gilmore
his
2.
shades open
so you can
for
watch
that
it.
one so I can watch it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
maybe I'll break the whole Netflix passcode thing and I'll give you mine for a
Wow,
day.
that would be amazing.
Yeah, there you go. That's the kind of friend I am.
Wow.
And speaking of that, and this is no joke, but how about we talk about some of our favorite comedy movies since we did a review of Naked Gun,
Exactly.
the
Well,
reboot.
I thought rather than because we've been doing like 5 movies at a time. I think
Yes.
we're going to run out of movies pretty quick. So I think top comedy.
Okay.
My top comedy is never going to change.
Okay.
I mean, it would
so,
take something really incredible.
so for the listeners, we're only going to do one for this category,
One for
and
this
then moving on, we're only going to do like our favorite for that category.
Correct.
Got it.
For
Okay.
this show. For this
All
show.
right. Okay.
So you want to go first?
I will definitely go first
why don't you go
because
first
I
then?
think if you got the memo,
Uh-huh.
you may understand about the red swing line stapler that I'm talking about because it's a movie that features Jennifer Aniston almost before. Actually, I think the
Before
movie came out.
Friends?
I think the movie came out when she was just
In
becoming
Friends?
known and she was in Friends. But the movie that I'm talking about is Office Space, because I think to me and you know, I guess maybe it's because of a generational thing. There are some other great movies out there too. I mean, Blues Brothers, absolutely for sure. But I think that's one that like people are gonna like put on the list. I think the real appeal of Office Space is that there are so many different characters in the movie, and let's be honest here, and I'm sure they probably will never say this or even mention this out loud, but the people who came up with the show The Office, I have a feeling, honestly, that they were inspired by Office Space.
I thought The Office was inspired by a BBC sitcom.
Well, but I'm saying that when it was BBC, I think they had seen
you
Office
think the
Space
BBC
and they
the
decided.
Brits stole it from us again.
Well, because it is a British, we'll call it a comedy
Yeah,
TV
okay.
series, but yeah,
Well,
but
they've
we
been
stole that from
pissed
the
into
Brits.
Revolutions.
Well, and a bunch of other things as well too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Office Space, absolutely top number one. Young Frankenstein and Blues Brothers would get honorable mention for me, because they're both of those movies are in a class all of their own.
True.
You've got Mel Brooks. Mel Gibson doesn't appear in any of these movies, by the way. But anyway, you've got Mel Brooks, who, I mean, when you think comedy, he has got to be, as far as comedy writers, directors, he has to be
at the top
for sure.
Without doubt.
And Young Frankenstein, totally awesome, filmed entirely in black and white, to kind of give that whole monster movie thing. But you know, I'm going a little younger, and I'm going with my crowd, and I'm going to say Office Space as the number one best comedy movie of all time. And you can disagree with me. That's totally fine. It's my opinion. We all have opinions. We're all entitled to them. They're like other things, and we won't mention that word. So there we go. So what's your?
So how did you do in math at school? Because I'm pretty sure we said our one.
Well, right,
and
but
I think you mentioned like 4.
I mentioned 3, but I gave honorable mention to 2 because I think honestly,
All right,
I
I'll
think
do
going
honorable mention
one.
too, then.
I think going 1 is not enough. I think we need to have an honorable mention because, like you can't. Well, maybe certain genres you can actually die on the number 1 like status, but I think there's another movie right behind it that you're like, you know what, this is just as good as in some other ways,
Yeah.
and I think that's
that's why you have
the
a best
situation
man at a
here.
wedding.
Or sometimes 2, but
Sometimes
that's
2
a
or 3.
whole other story.
And who was it that said, if he's the best man, why are you marrying this guy?
I think that was from Wedding Crashers, but
Was
anyway,
it?
I don't know.
I don't remember. It was a comedian. At any rate, I'm going to give you my honorable first.
Okay, all right.
So my honorable mention would be Liar Liar.
Oh, okay, all right.
And I'm still disappointed that Jim Carrey didn't get an Oscar nod.
Really?
I thought
okay.
Jim Carrey played pretty much every emotion.
Yes.
He could not have done any more incredible physical, verbal, emotional humor in that movie. The movie runs the gauntlet. It's fast-paced. There's so much stuff. I can't imagine how much he improv. But he was great in that and never got a nod. I mean, he made a lot of money. But he should have got an Oscar nod, in
Probably
my
why
opinion.
he didn't get a nod because he made a lot of money.
But he's not my number 1.
No, Liar Liar is a great movie. Absolutely. If we went top 5, then it would have been in my top 5 for sure.
Sure.
I just want to bounce those. Anyway, anyway.
The outtakes of that movie
are
are funnier than some of the comedies that people say.
Exactly. You
like
got
Forrest Gump. I'm sorry, but Liar Liar is funnier than Forrest Gump.
Okay.
But my number 1 movie, and it's the only movie that I went to with my wife, whom we just talked about, and we were sitting next to each other.
She's real, by the way.
Huh?
She's real, by the way.
Yes, she is real. About a quarter of the way through the movie that I'm going to mention, she got up and moved to not another seat, another row. That's how much I was laughing. And I don't generally laugh out loud at movies. Like I was laughing out. Like what you saw at Naked Gun, multiply that times 25.
Okay, because I thought you laughed out loud pretty much throughout that movie.
No. So War of the Roses.
War of the Roses. All right.
With Michael Douglas.
Okay.
And Kathleen Turner. It directed by the very amazingly funny and gifted Danny DeVito, who I got to meet, by the way, right after the movie came out.
Oh.
Which was just a joy for me to meet him. At any rate, I think it's considered a black comedy. It's not considered a comedy. It's considered a black comedy because there's some violence in it, and that's why they call them black comedies.
Yeah.
But it's not violence like gory violence, kind of like you might get in some movies. It's really a well-made movie, I think, throughout the whole thing, and in fact, I went to see it with 3 other couples, and I was the only one who sided with the Kathleen Turner character.
Oh,
All 7 other people, men and women, sided with the Michael Douglas character, which then I don't want to give anything away for people who haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, go rent War of the Roses, sit down, get some popcorn, and be ready to laugh your butt off. And if you watch it and you didn't like it, put it in the comments and tell me why, because it is my #1 all-time comedy. I've seen it several times and laughed at the same spots as hard. Well, not as hard. The hardest I've ever laughed was the first time, but when I see it again, I still laugh. It's just well written, well directed. Danny DeVito that was his directorial debut. Did a fabulous job, and I told him that when I met him in the men's room at ABC when he was on the Oprah show with Michael Douglas. I got to meet him in the men's room, got his autograph.
that's an interesting place to meet somebody.
I know. And then he went back to the Oprah studio to do the show, and my guess is that he leaned into Michael Douglas and said, "You're not going to believe what just happened to me." and I'm 5'5", and Danny DeVito comes up to about my shoulder.
Yeah, he's
He's much shorter.
4'9" or something like that.
And coming out of the stall as he did, seeing me standing there, kind of like surprised, and I explained that I worked at ABC and just saw War of the Roses. We talked a little bit about it's quick, but we talked about War of the Roses. Just saw it. I thought directorial debut, amazing. I told him my wife wouldn't sit next to me because of it. And then I said, "Could I get your autograph?" And he said, "Sure." And I gave him had a little blue card and a marker. And he said, "What's your name?" I said, "Annivar." And he said, "What?" Which I get a lot. And gave me his autograph. Very nice. Shook my hand after he washed it, by the way.
I was going to ask.
Yes, I checked. And then he went out to the studio to do the Oprah show. And I watched the show because I was upstairs. He never mentioned it during the show. But I'm pretty sure he mentioned it to Michael Douglas at some point. This crazy guy came down and accosted me in the men's room.
That's definitely one of those. I could definitely see that happening, as an aside, for sure.
And then he probably said, but on a good note, he loved the movie.
Right, exactly, exactly.
So that's mine, War of the Roses. It's a great movie. I've told so many people to watch it. Everybody I've told has enjoyed it at different levels. I've yet to find anybody who has enjoyed it as much as I have so far. But I haven't found anybody who's enjoyed Mr. Magoo as much as me either. So
I don't think you will either.
I think there are people out there who are just not at my level when it comes to comedy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're blinded.
They're blinded.
For sure.
So that's my comedy #1.
All right.
For all time.
And no War of any Roses of any kind here today on the show for that. And it's a great movie. I saw it. I think when I was 89 is when it came out. So I would have been 13 or 14, and I think I saw it a couple years after that, or when it was one of those that I know I didn't see it in the movie theater, but I know I saw it. We probably rented it at Blockbuster,
probably,
or something like that when it came out, and I thought it was great. I still think it's a great movie. I wouldn't put it in my top 10, but I would say it's in the top 20 for sure. Yes, I know.
Chris, I'm so disappointed.
Well, you know what? Apparently I disappoint you a lot. So there we go. But hey, that's what it's all about. Us having our own opinions and you listening to the show and enjoying it. So
that's what you think.
Totally appreciate that.
Put your #1 comedy down in the comments.
Absolutely. Let us know your comments. By the way, thank you to all of our fans and supporters as well.
Yeah.
You have made us the #2 rated show here on the Rise Network, which is, by the way, the only way you can hear this. So thank you to the Rise Network as well.
Which is also where your other show is, if you want to mention it.
New on Music Row comes out every Friday. This show comes out every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
So
Can I Call You Dad, which I do with my son, which
comes
you
out on
mentioned earlier,
Tuesdays.
Comes out at some point. I have very little control over that one.
We're waiting for the pickleball episode.
We're waiting for the pickleball episode,
Yes.
and it's going to be fun.
And there will be no pickles involved.
There
just
will
so
be
you
no
know.
pickles, but some balls.
Yeah, exactly. 2 of them. So that's the show. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you again next week with our review of Happy Gilmore 2.
Happy Gilmore 2?
And we'll talk about some other stuff as well.
Yeah, we'll find another genre to talk about. Put comments in what you want us to talk about, and we'll talk about it.
There we go. That sounds like a great way to end the show. Thank you guys for listening.
The end.